The perfect case in point in the Scripture is how God came to the aid of the Apostle Paul. We don't think of Paul as being a man who was afraid, but the Scripture clearly states that when he was in Corinth, he was terrified. He admits it as much when he writes back to them. He says, "You know that when I was with you in great fear and trembling." And in Acts chapter 18, in the midst of a successful ministry, he is apparently so terrified that he's entertaining silence. And so the Lord has to appear in a vision and say to him, "Do not continue being afraid. Do not be silent. Speak. No one will harm you. And I have many people in the city." And in that one statement, there are at least 3 antidotes, scriptural antidotes, that the Lord gave to Paul, and they apply to us as well. One is the fact that we don't have to fear abandonment because he's always with us. He cannot not be with us. It's not just a statement of his geography, it's a statement of his identity. His name is Emmanuel, Emmanuel. He is the God who is with us. He can't be the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and abandon us. So he's always with us. We don't have to fear abandonment. We don't have to fear harm. He says to Paul, no one's going to harm you in this city. And the promise is so much greater than just a guarantee against physical harm. In fact, it's not a guarantee against physical harm. The point is, someone can put a gun to our heart and pull the trigger and kill us, but they can't harm us because no one can separate us from the love of Christ. Paul came to understand that, which is why he could say, "For me to live is Christ, to die is gain." We never have to fear futility or failure. Paul, writing back to the Corinthians sometime later, said that your labor in the Lord is never in vain. No matter what we do for the Lord, it produces fruit. We don't have to fear incompetence because we don't have to be competent. We are incompetent, But God has chosen the foolish things of the earth to shame the wise. He's chosen the weak things of the earth to shame the mighty. We don't have to be competent. We have to be available and we have to be obedient. A witness is required to do one thing. He or she is required to state what he or she knows to be true. Our job is really extremely simple. And we don't have to fear rejection because rejection is actually part and parcel with being identified with Jesus. If we're going to live in fear of rejection, we should probably find somebody else to believe in. But we're identified with him, and we're going to bear the reproach of the cross, and we're going to face the rejection. But where we are rejected by men and women, we are accepted by the Lord and among the beloved. So we can't lose.